Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of America's Underground Voice. I'm your host, James Larger, and today we're going to be talking about Social Security. Alright, so let's just start with the basics of what Social Security is and why it was passed. So, Social Security was passed on August 14th, 1935, by obviously Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And we all know that FDR was the king during the Great Depression and things of that nature. And the reason Social Security was passed was because at the time, first of all, there was a lot of age discrimination going on against people that were older. And people that were older could not get jobs. So they passed this in terms of a way of security to the point of where when people worked in through their life, when they get older, they don't have to worry about getting a job. They don't have to worry that they're going to be financially unstable because of the fact that they have Social Security. And while the idea is good and the mantra of it, the ends justifies the means, which is obviously a liberal mindset, is fully engaged here. Okay, so that worked in the Great Depression, and that worked for a while. But we started getting the national government started to slowly creep into Social Security and started using it as more of a fund to where they can pull out of. And that's where it leads us to today. And the problem with Social Security right now is the way it works is you don't necessarily have a fund. You don't have like your own separate account. Like when they give you your account number, it's you don't have an account. Okay? So when you pay to Social Security, you're paying into the Social Security fund. And so what that happens is the government basically takes that money and they spend it. Sometimes before it even hits. It hits and they spend it. Okay? And they basically issue you an IOU and they give you a balance, and they give you an IOU. So then when you hit that age, that money is not there that you stored. It's written as an IOU in terms of where they'll take it from. We don't know. Usually it's the Treasury, and then they'll pay you back. And you see the problem with this is you eventually run out of people's money. You can't print money. You can't keep printing money. And that's why I say Social Security is absolute garbage. And right now it's projected to lose steam and it's to go broke by 2035. So I'm going to read you this Facebook post that I posted the other day because I thought it was really sound. So I basically said before the presidential debates, I said, here's a little thing to keep a note of as we roll into presidential debates. Social Security. Social Security is going broke. There are two funds, disability and the main fund we all pay into. The disability fund is going to go bust by the end of this year, by the end of 2016. That's the disability, that's the smaller fund. And what I mean by broke, I'm not saying $0. I'm saying that when you take money out, it's not going to be a dollar for a dollar. It's going to be a dollar for 75 cents. It's going to take steep cuts to it, steep cuts. So the disability fund is going bust by the end of this year, facing steep cuts from a dollar to 75 cents. The main fund we all go into, we all put money into. The main fund is projected to go bust by the year 2035, facing cuts from a dollar to 80 cents. That's 80 cents. That's a lot. It may not seem like it 20 cents, but that's a lot. All information by this is reported by the Social Security and Medicare boards of trustees. These are all independent people. These are not biased people. These are independent. So, and then what my point of this post was bottom line. If you hear either candidate say we need to expand Social Security for more people, just know it's a pure panhandle to get votes. Just because technically it's not broke in terms of zero, expanding Social Security will expedite those cuts even further. And then I went on to show a graph of the expenditures and how much the unfunded obligations under Obama went up. It started at $5.3 trillion and it worked its way up to $11.4 trillion by the end of his term. So, where am I getting with this? My point is that Social Security is a train wreck, and there has to be some type of reform because right now we are in $250 trillion unfunded liabilities. And what do I mean by an unfunded liability? An unfunded liability is things that we can't pay back. You just can't. You could take all the money from the one percenters. There's no way. It would take almost 13 to 15 economic cycles to pay back. And that's if you took all the money out of the economy, because the economy produces about $17 trillion a year. So you would have to take almost from 15 economic cycles of all the money from all the people. There's no way that's getting paid back. So there has to be reform to this, because right now it's a train wreck. And this is what happens when you go by the ends justifies the means, because no one looks at the long term. They just think, oh, it's a good idea, so we can implement it. It's not good. So that's it, guys. I'll put a screenshot of it, of my post, at the end of the video so you guys can look at it. And thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And I love to hear what you say. And yep, stay tuned. There'll be more. And yeah, I did get a haircut. I had too much long hair. I couldn't do it. And it just, I got sick of wearing hats. I got sick of wearing that. So I went and got that cut. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll see you later.